Hey everyone, it's Frankie-Lou. I'm meeting with
Megan
VC, and she has this wonderful operation. And what do you do?
So myself and my business partner Tara Stevens own and operate Fungi Akuafo, which is a mushroom spawn company.
Yes. And how long have you been doing that?
6 years.
One of the things that I can say as a consumer is I really appreciate the amount of time you guys are willing to take to help support your customers. And
yeah, a big part of our business is the education.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so Megan's going to take us around and show us her lovely operation here. We're going to get to go into the lab and see how you guys create these wonderful packages so people can start growing a wide variety of mushrooms at home. Great.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to be starting off with blue oyster, correct?
It's one of the easiest species to start with. It's very forgiving. It's very fast growing. So even if you make a couple mistakes, you'll still get something. And then you'll also be able to see once you try again that you might get a bigger flush and be like, oh yes, okay, it's because I changed this.
There'll be some learnings involved, but it's an easy...
You're not going to get it right on the first time. Usually, sometimes people luck out.
Okay. All right, so we're in the lab here at the farm. And
so it's where I hydrate grain, if we do grow kits, it's where we prepare the grow kits, and then we sterilize them in these 3 sterilizers. So we have 3 of them.
They almost look like huge pressure cookers.
Exactly. Yeah. I vacillate between calling them pressure cookers and sterilizers.
Okay.
But yeah, and they're electric, and so they're quiet, which is really nice.
All right.
Yeah.
And so what happens in these things?
So this just sterilizes it, and then once it's sterilized, I put it in my buckets. I put everything through to the other side.
Cool.
To the other building. This.
Okay. Yeah. And so once you take it out of that, put it in there, slide it on through.
Yeah. And then all our materials are in here. So like those are the pellets that I showed you earlier. The Canowick hardwood.
Yes.
From Canadian Tire. And then the bran.
Okay, now that's wheat bran? Wheat
bran from the feed store. Now, this is sawdust that we get from a neighbor who's a furniture maker. He sorts it by species.
Okay, oh nice.
Yeah, because otherwise he has to pay to dispose of it or deal with it otherwise.
Wow.
So, like furniture makers and people have big workshops, they have the vacuum system and it just pulls all the sawdust off their tools. And so he will just, because if he's building something, it's all the same type of wood. And so he'll just collect all that, and it's already in a garbage bag, and then he just marks the garbage bag for...
So that's a win-win for everybody there.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
See, that's why it's great when locals get together, because we can come up with some great solutions for each other.
What else do we have? So this is rye.
Oh,
so this is the grain that you got today.
Okay.
So this is grown either in Alberta or Saskatchewan, and we buy it from Grainworks, which is south of Calgary, and we buy it in like 1,000-kilo totes.
See, I was wondering when it said grain spawn. What? Now I know. Okay, it's actual grain spawn.
Yeah. You don't have to use rye. Okay. But we use rye because it's grown here, and it's not imported. And we buy our stuff from Grainworks because they have the cleanest
facility.
Grain.
Right. Okay.
And it's certified organic.
Right. So you're really, really doing local here.
We try our best, yeah. Plastics is our biggest challenge.
Well, I think it's for everybody.
People buy grain spawn and they start to actually learn about mycelium and about the fruiting bodies, and we think that's way more exciting because then you can go through the process. Like just growing a mushroom on your counter.
You're not learning as much. Yeah, it's special.
It's cool and it looks really cool, and that's fantastic. But we've really shifted our business to work more with people like you who want to actually do something a little bit bigger. Yeah. And do it more often and really learn from it, because then you're going to tell people around you. Yeah. And then that spreads more versus just the grow kits where, I bought this cool grow kit. It was at Canadian Tire, and it's just not quite the same thing.
And what I really like about your operation here is you're encouraging people to create a self-sustaining sort of system yourselves, which is wonderful.
Well, I think when we first moved to the farm, which was 7 years ago, we used to live in Calgary. We had this whole self-sufficiency thing, and I think that is important to know how to do a lot of things, but I think what we've learned over time is that it's way more important to build relationships with the people around you, because people get after me like, why don't you ferment more food? And I say, want you ferment food.
Yeah.
I'll give you a grain spawn or something.
100%.
Because it's too much. It's just too much to be an expert at. I mean,
yeah.
you know, to make cheese and to ferment and to can and to dry and to grow your garden and to do mushrooms and and to know how to do pressure tanks and electrical, like it's too much.
But creating a network of people who are all good at it. 100%. I agree. Yep.
To be really good, that's something you need to invest. You need to invest your energy and your time into it. And we only have so much time every day and so much energy. I feel like it's the energy that runs out more than the time.
Oh no, that 100%. I'm so glad you said that.
This is the mushroom building. Yeah, so this building has two sides to it. It has lab side and it has the incubation side.
Okay.
And it's got a packing area.
Oh wow.
And everyone thinks it's more exciting than it is. It's not actually that exciting.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm a total nerd, so this is pretty exciting to me.
Here we have probably the most important piece of equipment is the two flow hoods that we have.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
They're called flow hoods.
Okay.
Yeah. And so this is it's about a 5-inch HEPA filter.
Okay.
99.99%. And the way it works is the air comes in the top here.
Okay.
And then it goes into the empty box and then it pushes out the air this way. And the ideal airspeed is 0.47 meters per second.
Oh my goodness.
Tara has my little device to measure it. I can actually measure it. And so the air that comes out of here is perfectly clean.
Okay.
So your workspace is right in front of this. So this is how we make sure that all of the bacteria and the spores and everything else that's in the air doesn't get into whatever we're working on.
Right. Okay. And even other spores, because like other than the ones you want.
Yeah, like our air is full of things and our breath is full of things.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
And our skin, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so
wonderful.
It creates a perfectly clean space. My husband built both of these. And this is what your grain looked like.
Yeah, grain spawn here, right?
Before, like, nothing's been done to it, so it's just come out of the sterilizer.
Okay, so that's basically the rye grain, which you just showed me earlier, and it's just nice and
so
sanitized.
It's hydrated and it's perfectly clean.
Okay.
And I often leave it here for a few days to make sure that nothing grows.
Starts to grow.
Yeah, like this grain has been here for a couple weeks already, and you can see.
All right.
There's nothing growing, like there's nothing green or pink or.
Okay, and that's another thing I wanted to, maybe we should touch bases on, is you guys don't do mass production. You produce the grain spawn to order.
Yeah.
So some folks I know, it's a rushy kind of world, probably wonder at the length of time they have to wait. But when you see, like, you got to make sure that they're going to get what they want out of their grain spawn, and that's
so it's alive, right? And this is the thing, is that it's not a seed,
right?
So it's not storage.
It's older than seeds. Spores been around. No, spores have been around a lot longer.
It's alive, and so if I made things in big batches, and then sold them whenever people bought them, then you as a customer wouldn't know how long they've been in the fridge for.
Yes.
And so that's why we do everything to order.
Yeah.
And even though we typically say, depending on the species, about 4 weeks, some species are much longer, but the whole process is actually much longer than that, because I have to make petries, and I move petries onto grain jars. You can see in our fridge some of the grain.
Okay.
And
neat.
So even for a blue, a petri takes a week. The first grain jar we put on to is another 2 weeks. The second grain jar is another week, so now we're at a month. And then it's 10 more days. So if I was to do everything from scratch, it would be more like 5 to 6 weeks for our fastest species, which is okay.
It's a lot. It sounds like it's quite a
and
process.
So I have to like guess what people are going to order, so I have enough stuff in the fridge. And if it doesn't get used within a certain amount of time, then I just dispose of it and start again.
Oh my.
To keep everything fresh and moving. Yeah. And things like wine caps take over 3 months.
If I want wine caps for spring, I should be placing my order now. It's now almost the end of January. What would you say would be a good deadline for people to keep in mind if they're thinking of ordering wine caps?
It's a minimum of 4 weeks when you place your order.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to do it, just place your order now, and you can choose on our website that you want a May delivery. Like
May is a good time to start in Alberta.
May is kind of the earliest that you can start. You don't want to start when it's still winter.
So it's almost, I know
it's
they're
like
not
the same
seeds.
time
Yeah,
as you plant your garden.
Yes. Now for me, where I am June is better than May.
Yeah, and I would say here too, because
Yeah.
we're zone 2B here.
Okay.
So we're probably even colder.
But a lot of folks don't think you can grow mushrooms in this area. You would say, yes, you can.
Yeah, we do all the time, and they overwinter as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, the wine caps overwinter and the shaggy manes overwinter.
Oh, I want to do those too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then when I work here, then, and these are my pharmacy fridges. So this is where all the Petries are kept.
Okay. Oh, wow. I don't want to get too close because, okay. And so you've got little guys getting started in there.
Yeah.
All right. Do you just start with like a tiny little?
Yeah, you don't need very much. It's amazing. And then we push things through to the other side, through here.
Okay.
And then we'll just go to the other side.
Okay.
This is what we call our incubation space.
Okay.
So this room is kept between 22 and 24 degrees.
Okay.
All the time. And then, so if I'm doing jars, they're here. And I've just shipped out, we just had a massive order that was filling all these shelves, and it just went out on Thursday.
Well, it's early yet, right? Like, I'm sure in a couple of weeks or in a couple of months.
Yeah, it goes up and down, and so when we get people's orders, then this is how we
prepare them. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then, like, this is a wine cap, for instance. So you can see, I actually started this. It's our slowest species to grow on December 28th.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know what day it is, January 22nd today.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's just ready now. Like usually for a different species, it would be less than half that time. So I'm putting this onto larger jars.
Okay.
So I can get the March orders out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started December 1st for orders to ship at the beginning of March.
Wow. That is a long
So
process.
that's why when people get a little cranky with me about wine cap, I'm like, just understand, I didn't know you wanted it on December 1st.
Yeah.
And today is February 28th, so I cannot get it to you tomorrow. I'd love to, but I cannot.
No,
I talk to it nicely, but it's not enough.
Right. No, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this is just our packing area.
Yes.
So we have the flow hood here.
Another,
Okay. For taking the air out of the bags, so that they pack better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then our boxes over there, and then we ship them out.
Okay, and I got one of these in my car right now. Yeah. All right, well, thank you so very much. This has been very exciting.
Yeah.
And how would people get a hold of you if they're interested in doing some of this themselves?
Yeah, so the easiest thing is to go to our website.
And that is?
www.fungiakuafo.com.
And I can put that in the description.
I know you will do that.
Yeah.
So fungi, everyone knows what that means because it's an English word. Akuafo is actually a Fanti word, which is a language that my husband speaks. He's from Ghana, and it means farmer.
Oh, okay.
So our name is Fungi Farmer.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And you guys are a bunch of fun guys out here, right?
Yes.
How many times have you heard that pun?
Yeah, we're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for this today. Yeah. And what I'm hoping is that we can come visit you again.
Well, hopefully, if COVID does end, then we will be running tours again here, and you'll be able to see what we've done in our gardens.
Wonderful.
For the outdoor mushrooms. Yeah.
Okay, and you'll be hearing from me for a few times, I'm sure, as I struggle through learning how to work this stuff in my buckets.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Frankie-Lou.